Chapter 100, Suppressing the Flood Dragon with a Sword. The heaven-raising bull desperately roared. He was afraid that if he shouted even a second later, Lin Jufeng would make his move and Demon King Zhao would be no more in a blink of an eye. But in this heavy rain, Demon King Zhao's confidence remained unprecedentedly high. He levitated in the air with his huge body. Exuding a boundless aura and confidence, how could he possibly listen to the words of the heaven-raising bull? Instead, he let out an even louder roar. The head of the flood dragon looked hideous and terrifying. His mouth opened and released a terrifying wave of air that charged over to Lin Jufeng. Roar. His loud roar reverberated powerfully and it shattered the droplets of water in the air, causing it to splash everywhere. A powerful wave of air surged over, it was about to slap Lin Jufeng on the face. Demon King Zhao directly roared, wanting to kill Lin Jufeng through the vibration caused by his roar itself. The terrifying scene of a flood dragon fiercely roaring in the air became deeply imprinted in the minds of everyone. A young man in green clothes with a cat in his arms stood on the ground beneath the flood dragon. In between the young man and the flood dragon, the wave of air gathered more power as it surged and flew over. Just the edges of this wave alone were enough to kill a martial sage. It was an understatement to say that it was terrifying. The heaven-raising bull watched this scene. His vision went dark, and the hope inside his heart was extinguished. Demon King Zhao actually dared to attack Lin Jufeng. Every powerful and confident demon in that demon's den knew the consequences of such a foolish act. After all, each and every one of them had once received a beatdown from Lin Jufeng. But now, Demon King Zhao directly made a move that shook the world, especially the powerhouses in the imperial capital. These powerhouses looked into the distance and saw this shocking scene from thousands of miles away. The flood dragon's boundless might surged as the Wei River itself overflowed. However, on the Wei River's riverbanks was a young man dressed in green. His pale complexion betrayed the relaxed light within his eyes as he faced the Demon King Zhao, who was more than hundreds of times bigger than him in size. Demon King Zhao let out a loud roar. His terrifying aura alone scared those that were keen to watch the battle. Feeling the chill that ran down their spines, they knew at that moment that if they were in Lin Jufeng's shoes, they could only wait for their deaths against such a horrible monster. But Lin Jufeng was different. Strong winds blew against his face. His clothes fluttered in the wind, but his feet remained motionless as he stood tall, similar to a towering mountain. In the face of this wave of air, Lin Jufeng nearly raised his hand. Without making any other move, he lightly tapped his finger in the air. Crack! The void cracked like a mirror in front of Lin Jufeng. The violent wave of air directly collided with the shattered space. In an instant, the shattered space was torn apart. Schwash! The wave of air remained steadfast as it constantly tore apart the void itself. In a blink of an eye, it had assimilated with the shattered space, forming an even larger storm that continuously expanded like the universe. It headed for Lin Jufeng, clearly wanting to devour him whole. Those who saw this scene didn't even blink. How could they possibly miss such an exciting showdown? Die! Demon King Zhao roared with laughter. Although he was arrogant, the great sage of the heaven leveling remained apprehensive when mentioning Lin Jufeng. As a result, he didn't hold back at all. He had recovered his strength and was now at the peak of the grotto heaven realm. This was his first time using all of his strength upon waking up in this brand new era. Amidst his roar of laughter was a true dragon's might that he had just mulled over and understood. Despite being arrogant, he was also a demon that would never spare any of his enemies. He didn't hold back because he didn't want to give his enemy a chance to strike. In his eyes, Lin Jufeng had already lost. Lin Jufeng didn't take his roar seriously at all and was actually still standing motionless on the ground down below. It would be far too late for this human to regret since he had already made his move. Lin Jufeng looked at the shattered space. The shattered space had assimilated the wave of air as it continued to fly over to him. The white cat became anxious. She hurriedly said in Lin Jufeng's arms, "Move, hurry, dodge this strike." "There's no need to dodge," Lin Jufeng simply replied. "What did you say?" The white cat looked at Lin Jufeng in surprise. "You asked me before why I was waiting for the rain. Let me tell you now, I'm waiting for this spring rain to cleanse this world so that I can make a breakthrough with one strike." Lin Jufeng looked at the white cat and smiled. He remained confident and powerful in the face of danger. Then, he took a step forward. Clang! A black sword appeared in his hand. What appeared was his demon-slaying sword. Rumble! The combined might of the wave of air and the shattered space was tremendously powerful. But Lin Jufeng merely drew his sword and slashed forcefully. Crack! A crisp sound reverberated as it echoed throughout heaven and earth. What happened next was something that no spectator wanted to miss. They watched on with their eyes wide open. From a distance far away, the wave of air combined with the shattered space's might was sliced into two halves by Lin Jufeng's sword. The sword energy produced by his attack didn't stop, however, as it flew towards Demon King Zhao. In a blink of an eye, the sword energy sliced off the pair of dragon horns that Demon King Zhao had painstakingly formed on his forehead for the sake of his journey into becoming a true dragon. Demon King Zhao instantly let out a mournful cry. Blood rolled down his forehead, dyeing his head completely red. The rest of his blood fell into the Wei River and it dyed the water in the same color. How can you be so powerful? What exactly are you? Demon King Zhao let out a blood-curdling scream as he stared at Lin Jufeng in shock and anger. His confidence from before had long been wiped out by Lin Jufeng's sword move. You don't have to know who I am. I've already asked the heaven-raising bull to persuade you, but you refused to listen, Lin Jufeng said helplessly. With the sword in hand, he pointed at Demon King Zhao while shaking his head. You've actually surpassed the Grotto Heaven realm in this brand new era. Which old monster are you from the previous epic? Demon King Zhao felt bitter. He hurriedly tried to escape. Lin Jufeng was just too terrifying. You won't be able to escape. Lin Jufeng looked at the escaping Demon King Zhao. He raised his brows and was about to attack once more. Senior, I beg you. Don't kill him. All 7 of us can pay any price, just keep him alive. The great sage of the heaven leveling, the heaven-raising bull, moved in front of Lin Jufeng. His 2 front hooves went soft as he knelt on the ground and pleaded pitifully. Lin Jufeng looked at the heaven-raising bull. He suddenly recalled the countless signs and opportunities in the past 10 years that the demons in the demon's den beneath the cold palace had brought him. All right, for your sake, I won't kill him. I can spare his life, but he can't go unpunished. Lin Jufeng raised his hand, and a sword case appeared in his palm. With a flick of his finger, the sword case opened and 36 swords flew out from within. 36 swords of the demonic path. The 36 swords formed a terrifying sword formation, manifesting into a demonic dragon that Lin Jufeng could control at will. The demonic dragon materialized in the air and let out a true dragon's roar. Roar. The dragon's roar immediately extinguished the energy in Demon King Zhao's body as he went soft and lost his strength to escape. Spare me, senior. Demon King Zhao panicked as he immediately begged for mercy. Be obedient and stay in silence beneath the Wei River. Lin Jufeng coldly snorted. With a thought, the demonic dragon formed from the 36 demonic swords roared and directly swallowed Demon King Zhao before it sank into the Wei River. Rumble. A dragon's tomb appeared in the vast Wei River. Surrounding the dragon's tomb were 36 demonic swords that stood steadfast, seemingly having the ability to pierce the skies. The heaven-raising bull watched this scene with a complex expression on his face. He had already begged for mercy. Right now, he didn't even dare to speak anymore. Amidst the heavy rain, Lin Jufeng displayed changed the way everyone looked at the world. One of the 7 great sages, Demon King Zhao, who was powerful enough to overturn the rules of the world itself, was easily suppressed by Lin Jufeng. The scene of which everyone unanimously described as suppressing the flood dragon with a sword beneath the rain, had already become a legend in the minds of those that witnessed it with their very own eyes. Till the day they died, they were bound to never forget it. The rain continued to fall from the skies. But the surging Wei River had become quiet. The dragon's tomb sat coldly in the center of the Wei River. 36 stone statues in the shape of swords surrounded and suppressed it. Demon King Zhao let out an indignant roar from the inside, but he couldn't do anything at all because his body had been penetrated by the 36 swords. The swords didn't kill him, but they nailed him firmly to the riverbed. He couldn't move at all. Everyone was stunned by the outcome of the battle. The Demon King Zhao, who caused trouble by commanding the rain and the clouds for thousands of miles resulting in a heavy downpour. The Demon King Zhao, who made millions of people kneel down to him in worship. That same Demon King Zhao was suppressed just like that. Who exactly was this person who suppressed him? In the imperial capital, the powerhouses of the aristocratic families, the robe cultivators, the sect powerhouses, and the royal consecrators were all watching with their necks stretched high. Thousands of miles away, they could only see Lin Jufeng's back. He was dressed entirely in green, his black hair was tied into a bun, and his sleeves moved with the wind. He looked truly otherworldly and powerful. Lin Jufeng's face couldn't be seen at all. Some people became apprehensive. Just how powerful was this expert? Imperial capital, Forbidden City. Both Emperor De and Princess Yulin found themselves speechless. The way they looked at the world had changed. Even Princess Yulin found it hard to believe what she just saw. And she was someone who had once slaughtered her way to the Wolf Story Mountain. Her feat back then had shocked the world speechless, but what she had done didn't seem comparable to the scene that she just witnessed today. When Demon King Zhao commanded the wind and the clouds, everyone could feel the terrifying might he possessed. They were certain that he held power beyond that of the human god realm. The people of the Great Sha Dragon Sparrow were only in the human god realm at most. Princess Yulin thought that her mysterious master was a powerhouse who had entered the Grotto Heaven realm. But from the looks of it, she couldn't be more wrong. Emperor De coughed and said, "Why didn't I know before that such a powerful big grand uncle existed?" He really regretted it. If it was Lin Jufeng who gave him pointers when he was cultivating back then, he would have been a human god realm expert by now. But he was still happy for Princess Yulin. After all, they were related by blood. Moreover, both of them were happy that the person who had suppressed Demon King Zhao was their big grand uncle, an ancestor that belonged to the same lineage as them. Especially Princess Yulin. In the past, she was afraid of disturbing Lin Jufeng. She was afraid she might accidentally elicit his fury. But now that she knew the truth, she felt that she had to go and see this big grand uncle of hers. Then, she would tell him that she had never once slacked off in the 5 years that passed. Right now, she judged that her swordsmanship must be up to his standards at the very least. Ever since they reappeared in this era, the Zenith Heaven Path sect whose foundation had taken root close to the imperial capital of the Yuha God dynasty had long regarded the dynasty as their own. They were already prepared to make a move. After so many years of preparation, they decided that it was about time. After all, some of their original powerhouses from the previous era had already awakened, with most of them having already recovered at least 10% of their full strength. Recovering at least 10% of their original strength so early into this brand new era was already something to celebrate about. The Zenith Heaven Path sect was about to enact their plan of controlling the Yuha God dynasty and turning it into a secular dynasty of the Zenith Heaven Path sect. As for why they didn't make a move after deliberating for so long, it was because they were afraid of the hidden expert within the imperial capital of the Yuha God dynasty. They were afraid of the hidden expert who gave Princess Yulin pointers and told her to slaughter her way to Wolf Story Mountain. The Zenith Heaven Path sect had not relaxed their search for that hidden expert in the years that passed, but they had no clue about his identity at all. Just as they were getting impatient, they received news that the 7 great sages of the monster race and demon race were attacking the imperial capital. With the news of their impending attack, the Zenith Heaven Path sect stopped their plans and decided to lie low. They planned to come back and continue their plans of controlling the Yuha God dynasty after the dust had settled. The Zenith Heaven Path sect knew just how powerful the 7 great sages were. They didn't want to provoke them unless it was absolutely necessary. Thus, they decided to lie low and wait for the 7 great sages' victory to negotiate with them for a piece of land within the dynasty. But sect leader Luo Yu had never imagined even in his wildest dreams that the Demon King Zhao who shook the world the moment he appeared. The Demon King Zhao whom they could never afford to offend would actually be defeated and suppressed so easily. It felt as if he didn't even resist his enemy. As for the heaven-raising bull, he watched silently from the side, not even daring to fart. Sect Master Luo Yu looked at Lin Jufeng's green-robed back and gasped. He softly muttered, "This is getting more complicated now." Every high-ranking member of the Zenith Heaven Path sect had gathered in the hall. Each and every one of them was rendered speechless by the scene that they saw above the Wei River. Lin Jufeng's might thoroughly scared them. This is just the beginning of a brand new era. Logically speaking, such a terrifying powerhouse shouldn't appear so early, right? I originally thought that it was already shocking enough to see the recovered Demon King Zhao. He's already at the peak of the Grotto Heaven realm. His recovery speed had surprised me when I learned about it, but knowing that he is one of the 7 great sages, I could still accept it. But what's up with him? A powerhouse from the Zenith Heaven Path sect pointed at Lin Jufeng's back in surprise. The existence of a peak Grotto Heaven realm expert so early in this brand new era was already unbelievable. So, how could someone be more powerful than the current Demon King Zhao? The high-ranking members of the Zenith Heaven Path sect were unable to give an answer. Let's keep a low profile for now. He's too terrifying. It will be easy for him to suppress us if he wants to. Let's not touch the Yuha God dynasty for now. Sect Master Luo Yu eventually made a decision. In the end, he decided to first take a closer look at the situation before deciding whether they should reveal their hidden agendas to the Yuha God dynasty and to the world. The entire world was crazily spreading the news about Lin Zhufeng. After the battle at the Wei River, he instantly became famous. The title of the Yuha God dynasty's guardian god was once again remembered by the people. But Lin Zhufeng couldn't hear their conversation at this moment. He stood on the riverbanks of the Wei River. The pitter-patter of rainwater fell in front of his eyes. They splashed onto the ground, eventually forming into puddles. Rainwater fell into the Wei River. Waves appeared on the already quiet waters. Lin Zhufeng looked at the heaven-raising bull and said, "My seal won't expire on its own, but I won't stop him from absorbing the spiritual energy in the air. As long as he breaks my seal, he can come out." The heaven-raising bull walked to Lin Zhufeng's side. His body became smaller as he looked at the dragon's tomb alongside Lin Zhufeng. Lin Zhufeng still gave Demon King Zhao some face. He didn't seal him in a flood dragon's tomb but instead used a dragon's tomb. 1. I will advise him well and also stand guard for him. This suppression can also be considered to be suppressing his arrogance. Everything about him is good, just that there is a big problem with his character. The heaven-raising bull sighed. How did all of you become brothers then? Lin Zhufeng asked curiously. It's simply because we're lonely. Having each other around as we travel the world is a form of reassurance that we are not alone. Even now, I'm still used to having them around. The great sage of heaven leveling said, his mood immediately turned somber. Each of us has our own weaknesses. As a result, we are different from each other. Demon King Zhao's weakness is that he is easily enraged. And I am a glutton. The others are arrogance, jealousy, laziness, greed, and lust. We tolerated each other and turned our weaknesses into strengths. We became a perfect group. At least, that was what happened to us in the beginning. It's just that after we became stronger, our weaknesses also became stronger along with our cultivation realms. Soon, we became no longer compatible with each other. That is why the 7 great sages fell apart. In fact, it's been so long since I've seen and met with the others. But today, I'm finally reunited with Demon King Zhao. The great sage of heaven leveling, heaven-raising bull, said. Lin Zhufeng maintained his silence as he listened. The 7 great sages of the monster race and demon race all had their own shortcomings. And they were able to supplement the weaknesses of each other with their strengths. This was why they were able to form a group in the previous era. But every group or team would eventually fall apart. When the previous era came to an end, the 7 great sages of the monster race and demon race also came to an end. After each of them left in a fit of anger, the great sage of the heaven leveling, the heaven-raising bull, went to participate in the construction of the demon's den beneath the imperial capital of the Yuha God dynasty's cold palace. The great sage of the ocean cover, Demon King Zhao, went overseas and set up a large array formation on a small island to completely seal himself. The others had their own places to go. In any case, they weren't together anymore. This was also why in this era, the locations where the 7 great sages appeared have been all different and distant from each other. Since you guys have already gone your own separate ways, why are you still pleading on his behalf? Lin Zhufeng asked, puzzled. Our relationships were nurtured over an entire era. We supported each other when we were weak and we've experienced a lot together along the way. He once risked his life to save me too. Even if he won't listen to me, I can't just watch as Demon King Zhao dies, said the heaven-raising bull. A relationship that was nurtured over an entire era. His few simple words contained countless years of companionship, laughter, and fooling around together. Demon King Pingtian was a sentimental person, which was why he begged Lin Zhufeng to spare Demon King Zhao's life. I spared Demon King Zhao. You owe me a favor for that, Lin Zhufeng said. Demon King Pingtian nodded and replied, you're right. I owe you a favor. If you have any needs in the future, just tell me. As long as it's something that I can do, I will definitely do it. If it's something that I can't do, I will do my best to ask the other brothers for help. His words were sincere. Demon King Pingtian also knew that the reason why Demon King Zhao was still alive was because of Lin Zhufeng giving him face. But to be honest, his face wasn't worth much. When he spoke, he wasn't confident at all. After all, his relationship with Lin Jufeng was that of a boxer and a punching bag. Lin Jufeng had been suppressing the demon's den for 10 whole years, and only today did he talk so much with Lin Jufeng. In the past, not a word between them was exchanged. It wasn't until Lin Jufeng beat and severely injured him that Demon King Ping Tian's relationship with Lin Jufeng became closer. The type of special relationship between the attacker and the person being attacked. Hence, when Lin Jufeng agreed, Demon King Ping Tian truly was surprised. Then, he felt very grateful. At the very least, Lin Jufeng spared Demon King Zhao's life for his sake. Thus, he made a solemn promise. If Lin Jufeng needed his help in the future, Lin Jufeng just had to ask. If he couldn't do it, then he would go look for his brothers for help. Why wait for the future when you can help me out now? Lin Jufeng interrupted Demon King Ping Tian's thoughts and said directly. Demon King Ping Tian was stunned. He looked at Lin Jufeng and blinked his huge eyes. Then, he said solemnly, please give me your order. I will definitely do what I can. Lin Jufeng looked at his serious look and said with a smile, there's no need to be so serious. What I want you to do is not so troublesome. I just want to ask you a few questions. Demon King Ping Tian was dumbfounded. He was already prepared to go all out to complete Lin Jufeng's request. For example, clearing out the troubles in the world for the Yuhua God dynasty. Working for the Yuhua God dynasty for decades. Although it was hard for him to accept this kind of request, a gentleman would never go back on his word. As long as Lin Jufeng said it, he would definitely do his best to complete it. But who would have thought that Lin Jufeng only wanted him to answer a few questions? Demon King Ping Tian asked, what do you want to ask? Are you one of the original builders of the demon's den? Lin Jufeng asked. Yes, I participated in the construction of that demon's den. Demon King Ping Tian nodded. Why was that place chosen for the demon's den? Lin Jufeng continued to ask. Because that place is a land of extreme negative energy. It can gather the spiritual energy of the world and it won't let it dissipate so easily. It can also maintain the spiritual energy in the air for a very long time, Demon King Ping Tian replied. Was that area already like that when it was discovered in the previous era? Lin Jufeng asked with a rather pensive look. Yes, Demon King Ping Tian replied almost immediately. Lin Jufeng frowned. Not long after entering the Cold Palace, Lin Jufeng had already discovered the land of extreme negative energy. In the beginning, the land of extreme negative energy was still very weak. It only nurtured the spirit of imperial consort Jia and turned her into a malicious spirit. But that malicious spirit had no offensive power at all. At that time, Lin Jufeng was puzzled as to why the might of the land of extreme negative energy was so weak. As time passed, he discovered the ruins of the Chasing Corpse sect and was finally able to somehow resolve a few of his questions in regards to the land of extreme negative energy. But at the same time, the Chasing Corpse sect discovered that it was a land of extreme negative energy. That was exactly the reason why they built their former sect on the land where the current Cold Palace stood. But they weren't the people who created the land of extreme negative energy. Then, Lin Jufeng discovered the Demon Lord's palace. He thought that the land of extreme negative energy was made by the Demon Lord. But who knew that the Demon Lord had only used the land of extreme negative energy to suppress the demon's den? Then he discovered the 3,000 plus demons in the devil's den. He thought that the land of extreme negative energy was created by them. But hearing the words of Demon King Ping Tian, it seemed that the land of extreme negative energy existed here before they came. Thousands of years had passed since then, but the land of extreme negative energy was still around and thriving. With the recovery of the world's spiritual energy, the land of extreme negative energy was also recovering along with it. Lin Jufeng wanted to know who created the land of extreme negative energy beneath the Cold Palace. But after going through it layer by layer, it turned out that the people he suspected were not the masters of the land of extreme negative energy. Even the demon's den that Lin Jufeng thought highly of had been a latecomer to the party. Moreover, during the previous era, the land of extreme negative energy already existed before they found it. How did you guys discover the land of extreme negative energy back then? Lin Jufeng asked curiously. The events of the previous era touched upon Lin Jufeng's blind spot in knowledge. He could only ask Demon King Ping Tian about it. In the previous era, a lot of us knew about that place. It wasn't just us. In fact, a shocking battle once took place in that land of extreme negative energy. Demon King Ping Tian recalled. A man and a bull stood by the Wei River beneath the misty rain. Under the nervous gaze of everyone in the world, they actually began to chat. Lin Jufeng wanted to deeply investigate the mystery behind the birth of the land of extreme negative energy. They completely disregarded the people around them as they chatted about the things that they were interested in. A shocking battle happened. Lin Jufeng asked curiously. That's right. There were too many people who wanted the land of extreme negative energy back then, including those from the Taoist sects, Buddhist sects, and the sects overseas. All of them wanted the land of extreme negative energy. The battle was very intense, and countless people died. The land of extreme negative energy was baptized in a river of blood back then. Demon King Pingtian lamented as he recalled the past. You said that you would release every demon from the demon's den when the time comes. Once you've done that, you will discover that there are many corpses buried in the land of extreme negative energy. Each of them was once peerless and magnificent figures of the past, Demon King Pingtian said to Lin Jufeng. Their corpses are still intact after thousands of years. Lin Jufeng raised his brows. In that war, many major forces were implicated. They were all top sects, and they were also the symbol of that era's glory. Every single one of them was stronger than you are now. It's not out of the ordinary that their bodies are still intact despite them being dead for thousands of years by now. Moreover, they are also buried in the land of extreme negative energy, including the sect leader of Kunlun, the king of the monster race, and the unaffiliated cultivators overseas. When you have the opportunity, you should go and dig them up, Demon King Pingtian said. Lin Jufeng said in disdain, would I dig up corpses? I don't have such a strange hobby. Lin Jufeng firmly stated. Thanks for listening. The story continues shortly. This was read to you by Erebus.